Organization Canines for Warriors is changing lives by pairing military veterans battling PTSD with highly trained service dogs, with most of those dogs being rescues. Well, this unique program is truly saving lives at both ends of the leash. Joining us this morning is retired Army National Guard Master Sergeant David Crenshaw, sharing his inspiring story. So nice to have you here.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for your service.
My pleasure.
So how did you get involved with the Warriors?
I was actually recommended to this by a family, grassroots organization family here in New Jersey, actually, that said they were supporting Canines for Warriors. They saw what I was struggling and going through, and they said, hey, why don't you try it? And that I did.
Tell us a little bit about your journey, how you got to this place.
So I would say probably like most of us, I didn't know I had PTSD. I thought just my orientation, the way I was doing things in life was normal. I had been going on like this for 10, 15 years. I was a civilian law enforcement officer at this point, and it was just at a point where my mom had passed away that some of the things that I was experiencing back in Iraq had started to come back. And then, you know, obviously after going to a doctor and getting diagnosed, that's how my journey began, and where we are today is completely different.
Well, tell us about your friend. How has your friend changed your life? He's
changed my life for the better in so many ways. Not just my life for my family. He's made my whole household wholesome, you know, especially here around the holiday times where, you know, there's a lot of cheer and joy from most. Some of us, we do suffer sadness, depression, and he kind of takes that out of that, right? He makes you mindful of the situation and where you're at and makes you present. And that's something very important that your family wants. They just don't want you to be in the room. They want you to be engaging with them. Exactly, yes. Right? The present for them is truly being present.
Yes.
And for so many military families, I know their spouses on both ends that could attest to this.
So did you have to do a certain amount of training? I know the dog is very trained. Did you have to do something to, like, you know, so that you could bond? And
yes. So our dogs are trained anywhere from 6 to 12 months, depending on our animals. Myself, as most warriors, we go down there for 3 weeks on campus. We'll sit there, we'll reside there for 3 weeks. So it's sort of like being back in a quasi-military environment again. And there we're immersed with the canines. And they're learning us, we're learning them. They already know everything to do. It's all about bringing us in and getting us to do what they learn. And you leave there as a, you know, as we say in the military, battle buddy, and we leave there with a new battle buddy.
Give me an idea of, like, how you guys bonded. Like, what do you do? Like, how does he help you every day?
So when it first started, you know, isolation was a big thing for me. Embarrassment, being addressing the stigma. And I didn't want to go out in public. Being a public figure that was now removed from public, it was a very hard thing for me to get over. And even going to a grocery store was something that was challenging.
Really?
Really. And so he now gave me, as long as I'm holding the leash, I was able to put all, it was just like an umbilical cord.
Anxiety.
Put all my anxiety, poor him at that time, right? Putting this all through him, and he was just kind of giving it back to me, reassuring me that everything was going to be okay. I forgot I was in a grocery store, forgot about my environment, forgot about the stigma, and all I was worried about was him. And these are just the little anecdotal things that they can do to get us to re-engage in life and society back in a normal way.
And by the way, they're rescues too, so
yes.
It's good for both of you.
Yes, Canines for Warriors has saved over 2,000 animals that have gone on to be service dogs.
That's amazing. All right, if people are watching at home and they want to get involved, that either they want to help or maybe they need the help, where can they go?
Go to our website, caninesforwarriors.org.
It's not cheap, right? I mean,
no, it's not, and this is not, unfortunately, it's not supported by the government just yet. We hope in this year, but it's about $30,000 and counting. And our wait list, unfortunately, there is a wait list, and that's about, you know, if you look at it, about a third of U.S. service members suffer from PTSD. And that's a very low number because only about 60% of people go to the Veteran Affairs, and that's who accounts for this. So the numbers are out there. There are those that are suffering, and we're trying to get to the list as quick as we can. But, you know, we take anyone's support that is willing to help the mission and the cause of today's veterans.
All right, tell us a little bit about your pal here before we go.
He just had a birthday not too long ago. He's down there like this because he loves carpet. So if this carpet wasn't here, he'll be jumping all over, loving everyone. Come here, Doc. Si?
Doc, right?
Yes, Doc.
Doc and I bonded. I can pet him, right?
Make a friend, yep. As long as we give him command, and that's true for most service dogs organizations that train, you give the command, and most veterans will let you, you know, if they felt secure and friendly enough to.
Do you sleep with your dog? I'm asking for a friend because I sleep with my dog, which is the worst thing.
He's so wild.
He's big.
Yes, he's big, and he thinks he's a lap dog, so it's, yeah, unfortunately he can't.
Give us the website one more time in case people want to help out?
Caninesforwarriors.org.
So nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much for everything that you've done for all of us in our country, and I'm glad that you're in a better place.
Thank you, ma'am.
All the best. Master Sergeant David Crenshaw. And Doc. Well, every year, City Harvest provides food assistance for New Yorkers in need, and during the winter months, financial hurdles like higher utility bills and holiday-related expenses can really make putting food on the table extra challenging. Here with us this morning to talk about City Harvest, what they're doing during the holidays, and to give us a little baking lesson just in time for Hanukkah is Food Council member Jake Cohen. Nice to have you here.
Hi.
By the way, I love that, native New Yorkers.
Always.
And you're giving back to the community.
Yes, completely.
So how did you get in the food world, first of all? Because, you're a big social media influencer.
Yeah, this is kind of what I've always wanted to do. I went straight from high school to culinary school to the CIA upstate, and then I worked in restaurants for like test kitchens, food magazines, and then just went off my own, and now I just write cookbooks and play a chef on TV once in a while.
And you do very, very well. Everybody loves you, Jake. But you're also very involved in giving back to New Yorkers who don't have, the basics on their table every day.
I think that's the best part about even growing up in the city is this idea of community and the neighborhood. So I was volunteering at my local food pantry before I even realized that City Harvest, which is the first and largest food rescue organization, was one of the main players in giving this food pantry all of the food that it hands out to the community.
I have to say, I've been involved with City Harvest over the years. I've gone to their warehouse in Brooklyn.
Yes.
And, you're under the impression that, City Harvest is giving like leftover apples and, fruit. It is the most gorgeous produce.
Of course.
I mean, only the best.
Yes, and this is every New Yorker should have access to fresh fruits, vegetables, just incredible produce, incredible. Also canned goods to help them really thrive throughout the winter months.
If somebody is watching right now that needs a little extra help, especially now, where can they go to get a little bit more information, to find out how they can?
Yeah, I mean, cityharvest.org, it's the best place to both volunteer your time, but also donate. I think it's really a fun activity. I try to get friends involved and get a little group to go together. It's really it's a fun way to gossip with your friends while you pack bags of produce where you're doing good, but also getting to kind of spend time. It's a great third place to gather in New York.
Absolutely. And also, it's also a time where you're grateful that you have the opportunity to help somebody else
Always.
And make a difference.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, my God.
Today is Festivus, but in the next few days, for the rest of us, the next few days, we're celebrating Christmas and Hanukkah. I love that we get to celebrate together this year.
Of course.
Because we have that in our family, a lot of different religions. So what are we making today?
This is actually perfect because it's a recipe that can go both ways.
Okay.
These are my almond shortbread cookies from my last cookbook, I Could Nosh. But the thing that's really... I Could Nosh. I mean, again, a New Yorker.
I know.
You get it. You get it. The thing that I love about it is this marbled glaze, which is really gorgeous, and it's blue for Hanukkah, but it's just as easily done with green and red for Christmas.
Right, you can do it very, very nicely. Okay.
But it's so simple. It's one of those things that you do it with your family, and everyone's going to think you're so much more talented than you are.
I love that.
Powdered sugar, half and half, a little almond extract, but the secret is a tablespoon of vodka. And what that is,
Wait, you need one for you.
One for you. I mean, if you're only doing a tablespoon, you're a little bit of a lightweight. So the whole point of it is, it's not boozy. The alcohol evaporates, but it creates this beautiful. You put it in. Oh no, it's already in. It's already in.
You sure you don't want to?
A little. Go for it.
Fine.
There we go. So the whole point is that this comes in here and it makes it nice and liquid, but the alcohol evaporates at room temperature, creating this beautiful matte finish. So what we do is we're just going to add in a couple of drops of blue food coloring, not a lot. You gotta be.
That's it. That's all you need.
It's all you need, and then you just go in and you swirl.
Okay.
And now I
just want to show how pretty that is. Okay. Now.
And now you're gonna help me. You're gonna dip it in. Exactly.
That's it.
Dip. And lift it up and let the excess go off.
How did I do?
You did gorgeous. You just want to make sure you cover the whole thing. and then you have
Okay.
these beautiful striations.
Oh, see,
Is
you're
that not-
definitely an expert. You're definitely
you
an expert.
know, but it's something. But you start with the first one. By the last one, you're an artist.
And how long does it take? I mean, you know, basically
Not
before
long.
it dries up.
Oh, a couple of minutes.
That's it?
Yes, that's the beauty of this. And it's one of those things where it works great for, like, to win your cookie swap, because at the end of the day, we're competitive.
I love it.
We want to make the prettiest cookie.
And Jake, I see that you brought other delicious things from your cookbook.
Of course. Well, this is from a line I sell on Goldbelly, delivering
I love
nationwide.
Goldbelly.
Of course, of course. But the whole idea is just like you want to spend the holidays feeding those you love. You want to like share the love with something sweet, and then if you can do some good and give back to the community, why not?
Beautifully said, Jake Cohen. Thank you so much. Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
So nice to meet you in person.
A pleasure.
All right.